Response to my video that hijab and separation are not preventative measures for sexual violence. I've had a number of people mention that actually they are intended to protect society, and I fully agree. They are intended as protection. There are a number of things in which separation or hijab can be protections from internally and externally. And that conversation is one that is separate from the concept of sexual violence, which is rooted in power and control. When we focus on hijab and separation instead of the tools the Sharia has actually placed for us, we also give the impression that Islamic law cannot handle cases such as this. In reality, there's an ayah in the Quran which mentions إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يُحَارِبُونَ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ وَيَسْعَوْنَ فِي الْأَرْضِ فَسَادًا, and the ayah continues. It speaks about consequences for corruption on the earth, which include capital punishment. Scholars such as Mujahid al-Qurtubi and Ibn al-Arabi include rape under the concept of spread corruption on the earth. Aggravating factors, just like in criminal law, are considered, such as was there a weapon used or was the victim kidnapped. Imam Malik and al-Baji both speak to reparations due to the survivor. And notice the context in which rape falls under. That is an act of war against God and his messenger, peace be upon him. In other words, a war crime. While the case we are referencing is not about rape, other forms of sexual violence would fall under that category. In this case, we are speaking about sexual violence towards a child. As I mentioned in the last video, sexual violence can be perpetrated by a Quran teacher who is a man towards his young boy student. It can be perpetrated by a father or a mother towards their own daughter or son. Discussions on hijab and separation have no place in either of those spaces, nor with regards to a child in the first place. Consider the women in Sudan and in Gaza. Those who wear hijab there are doing so in the face of extreme terrorism and oppression, and their oppressors are using sexual violence as a tool of power and control, of subjugation. I understand we're going to need to have a number of conversations about this issue because we have for so often victim blamed. We have for so often put the onus of responsibility on women, have actively pointed to questions such as how a person was dressed. In this case, none of those apply. So I hope that we will learn from professionals in the field. It is an opportunity for us to, instead of, again, speaking about separation and hijab, actually address risk factors and systems of accountability, which, again, Islamic law in and of itself already gives us.